Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be forging a dagger for the very first time out of a thread tap. I've never done this before. I've made a dagger with stock removal methods, but this is the first time I've ever tried forging one. So before I start forging, I want to make sure there's enough carbon to make a usable knife. And there is. You can see by the sparks that there's a lot of carbon in this thread tap. First, I'm going to start by trying to make this more square so it's easier to hold on to. It does fly out just because it's so circular. So after I get a better shape, it'll be easier to hold on to. So what I should have done before I started forging is, you can see all the grooves in here. So I didn't want to lose any steel, so I was trying to forge them down and get them flat. But what this did, it just kind of deepened the grooves. They kept spreading and getting bigger. So what I should have done is just taken it to the grinder first, just ground these off. I would have lost a little bit of steel, but it would have been better in the end. So I eventually did grind those off, and I ended up using this part as the tang because I didn't want to mess around having that in the blade and have a fracture or something like that. So I use this part for the blade, and this part for the tang. I'm going to start hammering in the bevels. So when I hit it on this side, it's going to cause the blade to curve up. So there's 4 sides to the dagger, so I'll do one side, it'll curve, and then I'll do the other side and it should go back to straight, and then I'll have to flip it around and do the same thing on the other side. I started the tang while I was forging, but I want it to be a little bit more narrow. I also want the shoulders of the tang to line up perfectly so I can get the guard on. So I'm just going to take the angle grinder and refine the shape a little bit. This is a file guide that I'm going to be using to make sure the shoulders are perfectly level and even. If you have a guard that you put on over the tang and you don't have the shoulders even, you could have one side up a little bit higher than the other. And then when you're all done, your guard will be a little bit crooked, and it's really easy to see if you mess it up. So I want to make sure it's totally straight. This is a guard from an old Dagger that I had. I'm just going to use this to make sure it's even and flat. It's almost flush against the file guide, so I'm going to go down just a little bit more. I don't want to go too far, so I'm going to be using a file. It does take a while with a file. You just keep going back and forth until you have that guard fitting snug. I'm doing 2 thermal cycles to relieve the stress from the blade from the forging. If you don't do this part, or if you just do one, there's a chance that when you actually quench the blade, it can cause it to warp. So I don't want that, so I'm going to do 2 thermal cycles, and then I'll go in for the quench. After quenching, I put the blade in the oven to temper, and I went up in a canyon that I found, and I saw this deer femur bone. I'm going to use this for part of the handle. I've never used bone before in a handle, so this will be a new first for me. I'll see how it goes. I'm also going to be using the piece of Mokume that I made from quarters. I'll put a link in the description so you can see that video where I go step by step of how to make them Mokume. I'm just going to start with a rough design of the old guard, and then I'll change it a little bit on my new one. So now I'm going to cut it with the angle grinder, and I want to see on the inside if it looks solid or if there's any cold jets. And I don't see, it looks totally solid to me, so it looks good. I'm going to be using these calipers to measure the hole that I need in the guard. You don't want to go too wide at all, or else you'll have a little bit of a gap when it's all finished. So it does take a while, but if you go slow, you won't have any gaps. So I start by putting a couple holes in the guard, and then I'll use a file to get them wide enough. I'm also going to be using this. I'm not sure what kind of material it is that I found in my scrap pile, but I'm going to put this right underneath the guard and before the bone. Now I'm going to cut the bone. If you've never done this before, it smells really bad. And looking on the inside, there it's still kind of liquidy. When I pulled it out, it got all over the tang. It looks pretty cool, even just with the bone. So I'm excited to see what it looks like in the end. On this material, I'm doing the same thing I did with the Mokume. I'm just going really slow with the file and testing it to see when it fits, so I don't go too big on the hole. Because I've done some grinding on the Mokume, I'm going to re-etch it. So this is just ferric chloride. And the etch happens really fast. So on this first one, I'm just going to dunk it for a second and pull it out. Just so you can see how fast it works. That's pretty good, but now I'm going to put it in there and swirl it around a little bit and see what it looks like. I also ended up using some G10 liners right underneath that red and black handle material, and then I epoxied it and let it set for 24 hours. So now it's time to make everything smooth and look nice. It's really bulky right now. Parts of the bone look thinner than other parts, so I'm just being really careful, taking my time. I don't want to change the shape of the bone too much. I'm just going to round it near the top. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to see more knife making videos, and I will see you in the next one.